little bit about myself. I will cover a bit more when I introduce the faculty. My name is Eric Tao. I was born and raised in faraway place in Taiwan. I came here many years ago. My undergraduate is in electrical engineering. My master's in computer science. My PhD from UC Irvine is in computer engineering. My kind of research area is how do you use computer system to boost a performance of a group. Okay. So my PhD dissertation is that we interview hundreds of radiologists. We digitize thousands of mammograms. At that time, it's not digital. And we use the computer to detect the possible cancerous region. So when the radiologists look at on the screen, if that region is more likely to be cancerous, according to other, collect information from other radiologists, it will be kind of reddish. If it looks like a cancer, but from our database we know it's not, it will be green. So the radiologist can quickly identify those regions. So my background is database programming, but how do you work with large group on this information system? So it was how many people have looked at the mammogram? It's a few. It surprisingly looked like the sky in a bright in a clear night. But anyway, the technology was purchased was licensed by a company called R2D2. It's supposed to help the radiologists to navigate the stars. Right? It's like a mammogram. It was purchased by GE. As a poor graduate student, I got 0.5% of the proceeds. The university, UC Irvine, got 97%. My professor got 2.5%, and the group student got 0.05%. It's good enough for a few coffees. So I chose to be here. I really enjoy teaching, helping students. I've been the chair for ITCD for a long time, about 10 years. And so I work with almost every faculty. So your success in any of your class is my responsibility. So if you have any problem in your, you think, well, we really should cover that subject, or that teacher doesn't know what he's talking about, I can help. Might not help right away, but usually I can find some solution. So I'm not only the teacher for this class, I could be a resource for all your learning around here. My office is in Media Learning Center 151. You probably pass by me often. If I bike to school, I dress like this. I tie short when I'm on my bike. But typically I put on tie and look real. So this class, your real building block of your degree is those classes, right? So if it's your major area, then you'll take a few classes in it. This class is kind of the glue that make them all work together, including all the faculty. Even I'm not going to take a class, for say, from Kevin Cahill who teach web design, or you're not going to take a class from software engineering from Dr. Brian, for example. But you will know them, and they will become resource. So over the next 2 or 3 weeks, we will invite them to the class, and they will tell you a little bit about themselves, but also tell them about the class they teach. Okay, so that will be our major issue for the next couple weeks. So this class is, we will do these. We'll do these. The major thing is that you will finish your learning plan, which will start on week 3 or 4. So that is your roadmap between now and you graduate. So about the process takes on a couple of weeks. So at the end of probably week 6 or 7, you will know exactly what class to take at what time before you can graduate. Of course, if you fail a class or you suddenly change your major from game to some other thing, then it will change the whole plan. But if you don't change your plan, you know exactly what class to take on your learning plan. And we will invite a few leaders in the industry. We usually at least invite one from tech sector and one from the design. Sometimes we invite our graduates. We have, for example, Avila. Jerry Avila, he graduated from our networking and security program a long time ago, about 10 years ago. He is I think, Associate Vice President of Symantec, in charge of all the South American market. So usually we invite him. He's very supportive of our program. He hired some of our younger students in his company, and he's brave enough. He actually sent his wife to our program, and she graduated. So we will have 2 or 3 of leaders coming here, talk to us about the industry, talk to us about how do you prepare yourself to be successful in the industry. We will look at a few video online, and at the end, so since we have such a big group, at the end you will have a presentation. Okay? We probably will do it online so we can see in the group. A group of you, about 4 to 6 students, will find a topic related to your career and produce a showcase or instruction video for that technology. We'll talk about that later in the semester. You will actually forced to write it down. What is your educational goal and what's your career goal? Many of us will say, well, I don't know. I will just come and whatever they tell me to do, I will do it. Then after I will find a job, and whatever the boss tell me to do, I will do it. Then I'll marry, and whatever my wife tell me to do, I'll do it. No, you don't want that. You might have to do that, but at least you should have a vision. Not just a goal, a vision. Say, okay, that's something, that kind of software, that kind of game, that kind of website, that kind of a corner office, that kind of company I want to create. So I'm going to force you to do that. I want to force you to write down, say, education-wise, in a CST, in 2 years or 2.5 years, 3 years, I'm going to learn this. I'm going to be a master of these. I'm going to develop this capstone project. Okay? I'm going to force you to do that. Sometimes, especially boys, for some reason, we just don't want to say it. We just, I feel okay. But once people actually push you, you can do it. So you will conduct an information interview with maybe an industry expert or faculty when you produce that final video. So you need to connect to industry or faculty. Major thing is that you will have an individual learning plan. We will cover maybe 1 week of basic project management concept. Project is very important in your upper division learning. Almost every class, you have a project. Okay. Every class you have to propose a project, you have to work on a project, you have to find a solution. You probably couldn't find a solution on a textbook. You have to collaborate with people you really hate. But that's part of the education. I experience that every day. Okay, I'm going to force you to think about your time management. I will ask you on the plan, say, when do you study for which class? When do you exercise? When do you come to class? Okay, so a lot of people in high school or in the early days in college, you kind of let other people decide, right? And you have enough time to finish everything you need to do. As long as you know you need to do the assignment, you just, well, okay, whenever I have time, I will do the assignment. But especially in our discipline, the technology discipline, you will not have enough hours to do everything you need to do. Why? Why the people in the technology sector always lack of time?
Always behind.
Always behind. Why? Why always behind?
There's always something to do.
That's right. The nature of our discipline is we work on something new. Either we deal with it, or if we are good enough, we create it so other people have to do it. Right? so the new project, new design, new website, new logo, new technology, new network, new software, new game, it's our profession. So to keep up, there's never enough time to read everything. So you have to start develop a kind of a strategy to know exactly what to do at what time. So I'm going to force you to really think about your weekly schedule. I want you to include exercise time. I want to include study time, class time. Probably want you to block out, say, these I dedicate to be blank so I can plan for next week. So I will talk about that. Although I have no way, I won't go to your home and check to say, well, 10 p.m. you say you studied and you didn't, but I can't. But I at least force you to tell me you have a plan. Okay? In the long run, the people have a habit of time management will go way beyond people just deal with it at one at a time. So we're going to force you to do that. So towards the end, we will talk about your